What's up? Ife here with ETC Everything Cannabis. You know, I was having a little bit of music during the beginning, so I'm going to turn it down now. Welcome to ETC Everything Cannabis. I have Debbie Cochran here. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. It's from Go Terpy, and this is a CBD line, which is pretty cool. Welcome. Thank you for coming. All right, now I'm just going to put this down right here. So, Debbie, this is so my podcast is all about, making sure that cannabis industry, businesses like yourself, small, large, medium, small, whatever, has a platform to be heard and be seen. And I know that I met you, and we met at a cannabis brunch, which was pretty cool. And this is probably about like a year ago. Mm-hmm. And I came by your table, and you just you had this like wonderful story, like how cannabis actually helped you. And it wasn't like, hey, I'm just doing this just to be doing this. It's like, no, CBD really did like save me.
Absolutely.
Which is really pretty cool. And I want to know, would you be interested? Can you give us a little about your story and the background?
Sure. About a little over 12 years ago now, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Mm-hmm. I'd had a hysterectomy, like a lot of women do, and after that, it just snowballed into a whole nother thing. Mm-hmm. And was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and at that time the doctors put me on all the pills, which was pain pills, Norco, all the way up to Opana. I ended at the fentanyl patch, Soma, which is muscle relaxer, Ambien to sleep, the Lyrica, just the list could go on the pills they put you on. But the pills are only treating the symptoms. They're not treating the illness at all.
Okay.
So I got into the cannabis industry and started learning more about it. I worked for other companies for a while.
Oh, wow, really?
Moving their product and learning. And then I worked for 2 CBD companies prior.
Okay.
And I worked for one. She ended up going out of business, but I learned a lot from her.
Okay.
It was a tincture, and I started taking it, and it was like, ooh, it had a little terpene in it. Mm-hmm. So then I was like, I didn't need this pill, didn't need that pill. There's something to this, because I was already smoking a lot, but I wasn't really utilizing CBD on the regular.
Absolutely.
So I took some classes, started learning not just about CBD, but the power of terpenes. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of us are familiar with terpenes for flavor, where that's grape or strawmanna, and that's all good.
Yeah.
I think we're learning more now within cannabis, choosing that strain that's the terpenes in there to be the steering wheel of how you want to feel.
Absolutely.
And so when we're ingesting food grade terpenes, there's a lot of medicinal benefits in those as well. Mm-hmm. So through our team and doing research and trial and error of different terpenes into the CBD and just using it on myself, I now haven't cured myself, but I don't take any prescriptions anymore.
Wow.
It's all CBD.
That is curing yourself, basically.
Well, I mean, really, yeah.
In a sense, it is. Like if you don't have to take any more pills, which is a pharmaceutical way to go about it, and it's an impure way, actually, as we know. Yeah. But if you can do natural with CBD is just known for all types of great benefits,
It really is, and I'm a believer in using full spectrum when you can. Mm-hmm.
Can you explain to them about a little bit about what full spectrum is? Because people are not always getting to it.
We hear CBD, and really there's 3 types of your basic. You have the CBD isolate, which is just CBD isolated from the plant, which is clear, or the white powder. Okay. Then you have a broad spectrum. Mm-hmm. Broad spectrum is going to have all the cannabinoids, but they still are extracting the THC, so they're still, messing with it a little bit.
In it too.
Now on a full spectrum, and especially a whole plant, then that is all the cannabinoids. You're getting the full plant. It has up to 0.3% THC, which in CBD isn't enough to create a high or make you high,
get you like
but to get what we call the entourage effect, which is all the cannabinoids working together to synergize, then that's when you need a full spectrum and you're getting the whole plant. And then again, when you add terpenes in there, there are a lot of terpenes that also.
And terpenes are like flavor profiles.
Yeah, like an example would be, we're all familiar, a lot of us at least, are with lavender.
Yes, everyone.
So lavender is an essential oil, but the terpene that's isolated from lavender would be lineal. Okay. So lineal is where you would get a lot of the medicinal benefits that we're used to, whether that's through a diffuser and you're breathing in, or but when we ingest terpenes, we get a more medicinal amount, and it goes through our body in a way that's lasting longer as well.
Okay. And I never knew that. I never knew that terpene, like having terpenes go through your body, like it helps with
There's
the
many scientific studies on terpenes alone and the benefits for anti-inflammatory, bronchodilator, cancer cell inhibition, just with terpenes alone. So when you add that in with the beauty of, you know, the plant, and it all working together, it's really great medicine.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
So,
now you've been like all over the place. Like I've seen you. You just were at the what was the Orange County
Cannabis Awards.
Yeah. Like you've been really going, like ever since I met you. Like it's like you're everywhere. And how's that feeling, like being out, being about, and starting to get to know more people in the cannabis business and the industry? And
it's great. I mean, I love working within the industry for sure, and meeting more people within the industry. We always learn from each other as well, and just really it's exciting to educate people. And I think even, you know, CBD is for some people even just that stepping stone in to learn more about cannabis.
Yeah.
You know, because I truly believe it's about plant medicine as a whole. But again, for me, if I were to just smoke or just, it's not going to be what's going to work for the chronic pain and sleep and that type of thing.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the potential benefits of CBD, as you can see on here too. Like you said, it reduces blood sugar levels, cancer cell growth, reduces inflammation, relieves pain. Also, they're also saying it also helps with autism too, as well.
Yes.
When it comes to like a lot of the kids who have autism and stuff like that, you see, there's a lot of parents that are starting to give their kids CBD. Like, would you recommend somebody who wants to maybe start like on a CBD? Like, would you recommend a 250 milligram or 1,000 milligram full spectrum?
I mean, disclaimer: it's up to the parent to give it to their child, but I would say probably the broad spectrum, due to the fact of it being completely THC free.
Okay.
All of our tinctures have our terpene blend. Our terpene blend is very specific, so it doesn't change. All the tinctures have that. And then the broad spectrum just will remove the THC, and we do have some good reviews with people using it for that reason. It can help kind of relax the mind, and we've had reports of kids being able to speak more and things of that nature. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited. That's exciting to hear.
And next week we have gummies coming out, so that will help. You know,
CBD gummies.
We're doing that in full spectrum, and again we're doing it in broad spectrum for people that, you know, some people have jobs still and things of that nature that they can't.
Yeah, they can't really actually. So, yeah, which is understandable too. And then you have drops and stuff for pets as well.
We do. Our pet tincture is 250 milligrams for a 30 milliliter. Dogs, you know, pets, they have the same endocannabinoid system as we do. They are more sensitive, so oftentimes they'll need less than a human would, but yeah.
So is it true that CBD does take down your high from THC? Like, is that myth true?
I really feel that that's a myth.
I think so too.
It's not Narcan, you know, it's not like you get real high and then, I'm too high. But what it does do is THC in and of itself can cause anxiety. It can cause, you know, some of the negative side effects that we're trying.
That is true.
And especially if you don't know the strain, maybe you're smoking a sativa and you already have anxiety, and it's the terpenes in that sativa that's going to cause anxiety, along with, if you know, you dab, for instance, high THC levels. So what CBD can do is, if you take it, if you're getting that negative effect, you're feeling a little anxious because you've got too much THC in your system, take some CBD, so it will relieve that anxiety part of it. I mean, you're still going to be high.
Yeah, but
it will take away the unpleasant symptoms for sure.
So when did you start Go Terpy, and Like, where did the name come? Okay, so where did the name come from, and when did you start?
We started about 5 years ago.
Okay.
We went with Go Terpy because the primary, thing with our product is terpenes. So Go Terpy, terpenes.
Yeah.
It's taken some people a little bit,
a little longer
we're catching on, but we're
Gotcha.
getting, there's so much more education on terpenes now, though, that it's really exciting.
Yeah, and it's cool. It's cool that you said that, because I know there's some people that I know that just hate terpenes. They're like, they're so fake, it's artificial, blah, blah, blah. I'm not even about putting terpenes in my stuff. So how do you feel about that when, when it comes to, like, people are talking of terpenes and it's an artificial thing and don't do this and don't do that?
Well, it does matter. I mean, there are a lot of terpenes on the market. It's also one thing, it's important how a terpene is extracted. I mean, like any oil. Also, it's important that it's food grade.
Okay.
If you just buy some terpene at some terpene shop and it's not
so terpenes have to be food grade?
They need to be food grade, and not all of them are safe to ingest. I mean,
so how do you know they're safe to ingest? Because they have to be, you said, extracted. Is that correct?
Well, CO2 extracted, again, is a good one, because CO2 extraction will also affect flavor of the terpene as well.
Okay.
And then, that's same with essential oils. Like, I'll give frankincense, for instance. That's a really good essential oil, but you cannot ingest that for long periods of time safely.
Oh my God.
So those are just some examples of being sure what type of terpene. You need to do your research, and it's very important that it's food grade because you're ingesting it.
Yeah. Okay. So what would you tell people for, like, when you're starting your business and stuff like that? Because you've been doing it for 5 years, and obviously you really love doing it. And some people, they would start it and then they would be like, okay, no, I'm done, because maybe they didn't have the success as they so-called would want to. What would you tell people, like, when you're starting, especially a CBD business? Because there's so many other CBD businesses out there too, and it's not like there's, I always say, like, I don't want to say there's so many, but there's enough, and there's competition out here. So what would you say about people who want to
get into it because you care, and you care about people, and you care about being able to have people get off a lot of medications that are really bad for them. I used to take, for instance, two high blood pressure pills for 17 years.
Oh, wow.
My doctors are all on board. They notate. I'm not going to tell anyone to just get off of medicine, but CBD has so many benefits, and for me, knowing what it's done in my life, I mean, not just the blood pressure medicines, but all the other prescriptions, that keeps me going.
Yeah.
And then, you get a review from somebody that you don't know, and they took it, and you hear how it helped them.
Yeah, tell us about the review you were talking about a little bit.
Yeah, like we recently, we had a gentleman. He was a Green Beret. He's still, military, just really served our country, and it's, that is beautiful in and of itself. But
absolutely.
He had received a sample from somebody from MJ BizCon. He said a friend brought it home to him, and he was out of his pain pills for his shoulder and what he was using for sleep, and it was sitting on his refrigerator, and basically out of desperation he's like, well, shoot, I'm going to take it, because he had tried other CBD products before and just didn't get the relief he was looking for. He took it for 2 days, and he called, and he first ordered it online before he ordered a full bottle, and then checked in, and he just said, I really want to let you know what this has done. And he wrote just this, it's posted on our page if anyone would like to see it, but he wrote the most formal letter of just how it helped him. And that particular day, I was having one of those days where I was a little like, oh man, because it's not always about the money. Like, you have to just do it because you really do care.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll get that, and I'm like, that just boosts you to keep going.
Yeah.
So.
And the website is www.goterpy.com.
Yes.
If you guys want to see it, here it is. Hopefully you can see it.
So, and it's important, where you source your oil. Is it tested? Is it, you don't want to just make it in your kitchen.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm not
some
against.
People do,
and I'm not opposed to that in terms of if that's for your own use, your friends, family, but you can't do that if you're really putting it out there to people
as a product,
and that are sick. A lot of sick people are.
But but yours is a special type of oil. You said too as well. You said that it was what was that? I'm sorry. It was like a what was it? I think it was extracted differently.
Well, CO2 extraction, which that's not necessarily uncommon, but it doesn't, it's not using that high alcohol. We used MCT oil as our carrier oil as well, because I thought was that sometimes that alcohol extraction can give it a really strong taste, and it also gives that alcohol. And I also thought of people that if you,
I love that.
people, CBD and terpenes can help people struggling with alcoholism and opiate abuse. So another reason not to use alcohol is to not set anybody off that, is using it for those reasons.
I'm going to take a drop of this right now.
Push down, childproof,
I see it. I'm like, am I even twisting the right way?
Yeah.
Y'all see that? Like a kid in a candy store, they can't get the candy open, okay?
Right. It's like, this one's really on there.
That's okay. But at least we know the packaging. Thank you.
Push,
nice.
twist.
At least we know packaging is on point, okay? Okay, so you just want to take this and put it right under your tongue?
Yeah, the best way is to put it under your tongue, hold it about 30-40 seconds, and then swallow. That way we have sublingual glands, and it goes directly into the bloodstream for the quickest reaction. We do have people that will use it topically as well, though. It's good for the skin.
Yeah, tell us about that. You can use it topically. You can use this.
Absolutely. I mean, I have people that use it on their face as a serum.
Oh, wow.
I mean, oftentimes when it comes to CBD and CBD oil, it's marketing in terms of, using it on your face and things like that. The benefits from anti-inflammatory and things of that nature for, inflammation can use on your face and topically, and the terpenes also absorb.
And what terpenes do you have in this one?
Well, our blend is actually proprietary.
Okay. But
we do use a blend of several isolated terpenes that are all designed to synergize and all have medicinal benefits.
It tastes good. It's like there's like a little citrus scent,
Little terpenes. Terpenes come from, limonene. Let's say you smell a lemon. That's the limonene. That's going to be the terpene we smell in that. When if you extract that by itself, there's medicinal purposes, and we all know drinking lemon water is great for us. So.
Yeah, that is. It's wonderful. It is wonderful. Lemon water it's wonderful. So where will we see you in the future? Like, what's your next stop?
We'll keep watching. We have February 20th in Huntington Beach. There's a pop-up cannabis sesh. Pop Brothers at Law. It's gonna,
nice.
It's gonna be some music, entertainment, a lot of vendors.
Okay.
So that one's coming up in Huntington Beach. And just keep watching. We're in a couple stores. We're in if you're in Orange County, we're in Ziggy's on Westminster. Rick Wicked's in Long Beach, Magic Buds, and another one in Huntington Beach, and Azusa Smoke Shop, the Rodeo in Azusa.
Wow, you're more than in a couple of them.
So we're getting out there. You can also order online.
At www.goterpy.com.
GoTerpy.com.
That's right. Make sure you order your own Go Terpy CBD. It's so good. CBD oil. It is delicious. And I was telling you too that I had a pleasure of I would travel when I met you. I had already got a sample, and I got one of these, and I ended up traveling with it, and it would always help me. And then the people that I was working with, because I was working in production at the time, so the people I was working with, there was a couple of them that were saying that they had some things going on, they needed CBD oil. Because I had told them about, my company, ETC, EveryThingCannabis, and what it was for. And then I had yours, and then I ended up giving it to them, and they were like, really? That owe you anything? I was like, no, just, try and let me know how, how I did. And they came back, and they were like, oh my God, thank you. So I just wanted to let you know that, too. Like, it was pretty cool, because it was like, and, there's the little sample bottles, too, that you could take with you on the plane and stuff if you need to, wherever you go, which these are perfect too.
Yeah, it's great for anxiety, calm, maybe,
Yeah, absolutely. And even if, I tell people too, before you get on the plane, if you feel like you don't want to take a pill or anything like that, try to take some CBD, because CBD really does relax you, and it really does calm you, and it really does help the nerves.
It does.
It does. It even helps toothaches, they say, It's almost like oil pooling. Like if you use it for your teeth.
No, it's good. And then, you just kind of drop it in there, rub it in there. We also goes into your bloodstream there too, so you're getting a lot of that direct.
Direct, yeah.
And just keep watching. We have several tinctures. We have up to, you know, our 2000. We have the broad. We have gummies. I don't have it here. We have
tincture?
we do. And then we have a roll-on gel as well. So we're adding to the line, which is exciting. And that's another thing with CBD. Oftentimes when you go really high, like maybe 5, 10,000, you can only have a full spectrum that's so high as well. So when you start going really high, then you're adding in isolate, which isn't necessarily bad, but I have found for my own self that I use the 1000 a lot. Because with the terpenes and everything in it, it really is enough it does a lot more than you would think than just the milligrams of CBD.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the one I use too for the most part of it. I use 1,000 milligrams too. You know, I have a friend that has another, you know, CBD line too, and that was like what I start, you know, what she was like recommended to start off with, but it's like wherever I go, that's what I use. It's something about 1,000 milligrams for me just does it. You know, like if I get anything under it, I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel. I'm not feeling it. You know,
and you need to give it you know, give it a good 4 or 5 days. CBD does build in our system. The effects are 4 to 5 hours. So if you're treating pain like I am, I'm not going to take it in the morning and then think I'll just do it again the next morning, and that's going to treat my pain all day.
So you got to do at least like
I'm
twice a
doing
day.
the morning. I do at night. If I have a flare up, because sometimes, you know, whatever reason, then I'll take some in the afternoon as well.
Okay, so if you are on CBD and you're using it to treat some type of condition, then you need to do it more than once a day.
Yeah, you mean you need to treat it like your medicine. I used to take. I have arthritis in my knee and neck, and I would take 800 milligrams of ibuprofen 3 to 4 times a day for years.
Wow.
For years.
Yeah.
So what I did is I would take our tincture and I would fill it in a capsule, and I filled my pill box with the CBD oil to switch the habit.
Okay.
You know, instead of grabbing that ibuprofen, there'd be a hemp pill right there. Take that. Now it's in my purse all the time. Just drop under the tongue, and you know, it creates a habit.
And it's nice too because you can take it, like I said, you can take it anywhere. It could be in your purse, and like they're not going to take it. TSA is not going to take it out from you, which is great.
No, we are hemp derived. It is legal.
Exactly.
And it's very easy to travel with. A lot easier.
And it is tested.
We are tested.
Natural. Great terpenes in it. I just had the pleasure of tasting it again. That's awesome.
So I can't read the screen. I don't know if anyone has any questions.
All right. If anyone has any questions, feel free to talk. Just waving at people.
Okay.
Wink, Stinky Bubbles in there. Hey Kate. Hey guys. How's everyone doing? But yeah, if anybody wants to join, you could join up here too. I like doing that too. I would like to do like more interactive interviews.
Right.
Let people to come on and then be up here with us and talk with us too. So